other leaders who also visited various examination centers to oversee the exercise. Elsewhere, on this part, the Education Ministry Secretary Belio Kipsang noted that national KCPE and KPSEA exams kicked off without any hitches, despite allegations that some students had not been registered to sit for the exams. The examination will mark the end of 844 system in primary schools.
There is no child in Kenya who will not have a place to move on and to progress their education into the next level. That is the confidence I want you. That is the confidence I want every child in Kenya, every candidate today to know that as they go into this exam, there is an opportunity for each and every one of you. Be confident, be assured that as you go and do your exam, we want you to do your best. We want you to make us proud, make your parents proud, so that we can all move Kenya forward.
It is a serious offense not to register children for examinations. We have already directed our officers to make sure that this is properly investigated, communicated to us so that the necessary action can be taken against those who may have missed out to register our children.
On to our next news item. Kakamega has registered a total of 170 adult learners who are writing their last Kenya certificate of primary education KCPE exams this year. Speaking to the media, the County Director of Adult Learning and Continuing Education, Isaiah Nyamweno, said the adult candidates, including 63 females and 44 males, he noted only Kakamega Central, Kakamega North, Matungu, Mumias, West Lugari, Butere and Matete sub-counties out of 12 sub-counties registered adult learners sitting for KCPE as private candidates. Elsewhere in Migori County, 82,279 Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KPSEA and Kenya Certificate of Primary Education KCPE candidates will be sitting for their national examinations. Migori County Deputy Commissioner Ms. Milka Karaoke said that 43,137 KCPE and 39,142 KPSEA candidates in 815 exam centers will be sitting for their final primary examinations in 12 sub-counties. Karaoke said that all the process was set for the smooth running of the two exams that are set to start today and conclude in November 2nd. Noting the number of examination centers also increased from 804 in 2022 to 814 in 2023.
Males 107 and the females 63, total making it 170 as all the candidates. And some of the sub-counties don't have candidates. So we have Kakamega Central, Matungu, Mumias West, Butere, Lugari, Kakamega North, and Matete. Those are the few counties which we have the private candidates undertaking the KCB examination this year. And the ones who are sitting for KCSE this year, we have enrollment of total of 107. We have male 51 and female 56, making a total of 107. We have the 3 programs. We have basic education meant for the adults. Then we have those who are doing KCPE and the KCSE. Centers are not many. We have we have around 20 centers which are manned by full-time adult education teachers. Then we have around 95 centers which are manned by the casuals who are beta tokened by the government. We could be having a number of youths who are dropouts. But we have the border economy in this region, which has taken most of the youths because there is quick money in the border. So at the expenses of this program, majority of youths have gone to venture into border economy at the expenses of the program of adult education. As much as they are school dropouts, but they are trying to make the quick gains through the border. Saying is that the border economy is not a solution. It is a high time they realize sometimes the border, if they can take hardly 3 years, then it is off. But if they can realize, come back and do their KCSE, it can enable them to go to TVET institutions to get skills, which these skills can be able to help them in the future.
What I want to say is that we have started on well. We have 85 centers and we've been able to distribute the KCPE and KIPSEA exams. So far, so good.
On to our next news item. President William Ruto today presided over the official launch Kenya Telecommunication Companies that saw the first local phone assembly plant in partnership with international device manufacturers. The Athi River-based East Africa Device Assembly Kenya Limited EADAK follows the government's promise to establish a local smartphone assembly with a capacity to produce up to 3 million units annually. EADAK's chairman Joshua Chepkwony told journalists during the launch that the device will retail for 7,499 and will be available countrywide as fiber shops and dealer stores, as well as Safaricom shops and the Masoko online plan.
Our universal health coverage, as was said ably by CS here,
is off to a very brilliant start with the recent launch of the Community Health Promoter System, which will provide preventive and promotive health services at the grassroots countrywide and facilitate diagnostic and early detection of conditions requiring curative attention to Kenyans from the comfort of their homes and in all instances free of charge. All these interventions have made unprecedented progress in expanding inclusion, enabling previously marginalized groups and households who are typically the most vulnerable and in need of these opportunities, both in terms of participation and contribution, as well as receiving support and benefits. More households are now involved in gainful economic activity in various sectors. And as the bottom-up economic transformation agenda gets underway properly, this positive change will begin to demonstrate manifest progress. To overcome this critical challenge to the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, we identified the production of affordable smart digital devices as one urgent priority, as I said earlier, that will guarantee the possibility of universal digital access for the people of Kenya to enjoy more and better services and opportunities in both public and the private spaces.
This partnership with local mobile operators and international device manufacturers is a step in accelerating access to high-quality 4G devices across the country, and this factory can be anywhere in the world. So we are delighted that it is here in Kenya.
Our universal health.
On to our next news item. President William Ruto has announced the government is piloting the digital identification system over the next 2 months before rolling it out to everyone in December. According to the head of state, Kenyans will not need to carry any paper, plastic or anything else as an ID, but will be able to be identified digitally using their IDs or fingerprints and transact without the necessity of people struggling to identify who they are. The process will require Kenyans to be scanning their irises and fingerprints to authenticate their identities when making transaction under the new digital ID.
Already, the digital ID, which has been a big problem to us for a very long time, is now on a testing mode for the next 2 months. I have been assured by all the stakeholders, led by the ministries concerned, that by December, we will be able to launch digital ID, where every Kenyan don't have to carry any paper, plastic or otherwise, as an ID, that they should be able to be identified digitally using their iris or their fingerprints, and we can transact without the necessity of people struggling to identify who they are. And the proudest part of it is that we don't have to spend the billions that we have spent on all the other manenos, as all of you know.
On to our next news item. The Ministry of Health has partnered with Safaricom to establish a dedicated call center which will provide seamless and efficient support to community health promoters in different counties The initiative, according to the ministry, will ensure the safety of data in the electronic community health information system ECHIS hosted in the data center. Speaking during the launch of the East Africa Device Assembly Kenya plant in Mlolongo on Monday, Health CS Susan Nakumicha reiterated the government's commitment to leverage technology as a powerful catalyst for achieving universal health coverage. CS Nakumicha further noted that the ministry has placed a strong emphasis on implementing preventive and promotive health services.
Your Excellency, each of these registers used to record different information. Now, this gadget, we have an application called ECHIS that is carrying all the information that used to be collected in these 5 registers. This is transformative, not just for the country, not just for the Ministry of Health, but for the world, I believe. Your Excellency, having acquired these gadgets locally, we were able to go around. You know, our procurement rules, Your Excellency, it would take forever for the ministry to procure 100,000 gadgets. But working together with Safaricom, in less than 2 months, we were able to get these gadgets. And that is the benefit of working with locally assembled products. Your Excellency, we were able to cut down on the costs. From what we were getting in the open market, we were able to cut down by about 30%. So we had value for money, Your Excellency. But for me, Your Excellency, the most important that we achieved from buying locally assembled products. If we had gone to the open market, there are some things that we would not have been able to put on this phone. For example, it wouldn't have come with our application. But now, these phones are being delivered to us with the application that is specifically for healthcare, the ECHIS application, Your Excellency. As if that is not enough, we are working together with our partner Safaricom to ensure that these gadgets are geofenced, so that then the community health promoters are able to work within the area that they have been allocated, and they are able to serve the households. Your Excellency, it used to take forever for the information from the registers to be passed from one level of service point to the national level. But with them collecting data on this gadget, Your Excellency, each day at the ministry level, we are able to see what each community health promoter has done. This is a game changer for the Ministry of Health, and I want to thank Safaricom for the continued partnership.
On to our next news item. King Charles III of the United Kingdom will begin his 4-day state visit to Kenya on Tuesday, 31st October. This will be his first official visit to Kenya since he became king, and it comes as the country prepares to celebrate 60 years of independence from Britain. The visit is expected to focus on strengthening ties between Kenya and the UK, as well as promoting sustainable development and climate action. Meanwhile, Kenya Human Rights Commission KHRC is calling on the British government to apologize and compensate the victims of colonialism in Kenya. According to the KHRC, Britain violated human rights between 1895 and 1963, including land grabbing.
The preparations are, of course, underway. This is it's a global event. You know, the King of England and the embassy has been able to give out the dates. As Nairobi, we're ready and happy to host him. Nairobi has a long history with the monarchy. Nairobi was the first Commonwealth city to get a charter, and before any other Commonwealth city in the world. And you know, it's an honor for Nairobi again to be the first Commonwealth destination that the King of England visits after his coronation as king. He has many activities lined up within the city before he goes to Mombasa, and we're happy that Nairobi was chosen and that we can engage and deepen our relationship. You know, the last time you know, he was here, or the late Queen was here, the way Kenya was engaging was at a different level. You know, today you have a more confident country that has esteem, that sits on the table with partners, and we discuss as partners. The colonial past is behind us. Where we look at different countries for affirmation or for direction is over. Kenya has its rightful place in the table of nations, and led by our president, I'm sure the engagements will be of mutual benefit to both the United Kingdom and to Kenya and to Nairobi.
Okay. Call upon the King on behalf of the British government and people to issue an unconditional and unequivocal public apology, as opposed to the very cautious, self-preserving and protective statement of regrets for the brutal and inhuman treatments inflicted on the Kenyan citizen during the entire colonial period from 1895 to 1963 and thereafter to date. Such an apology is a critical step in acknowledging the pain and the suffering of the people of Kenya. We further demand effective remedies for the atrocities committed to the different groups in the country. This should be in line with the aforementioned UN principles and guidelines, which provide supporting, among others, a number of initiatives.
Our next news item. Drama ensued at the office of Kisii Governor Simba Arati at Gusii Stadium as officers from the Elite General Service Unit camped on the premises in the early hours of Monday. Speaking to the media, the governor expressed concerns insinuating a deliberate conspiracy to arrest him following his support for a Boda Boda Sacco and his unwavering commitment to combat corruption within the country. He also decried the abrupt closure of the Kisii Municipality Boda Boda offices, which he believed was unfairly portrayed as a hotbed of criminal activities. Governor Arati expressed disappointment with the lack of transparent communication from senior county security officials, including County Commissioner Tom Anjere, regarding the purpose of the GSU officers' presence at the office.
Ni nani hako na kitu moyoni hili ambalo nimelifanya mbaya? Si DCI wapo, ESC ipo. Kwa nini mtumie jeshi kuja kwa ofisi zangu? Kwa hivyo mimi nadhania mimi vile ninavyofikiria, walikuwa nadhania kwamba wakija watu wataanza fujo, ndiposa watu wakianza fujo watu wapigwe risasi. Hiyo ndio nia yao, kwa sababu askari wamekuwa ni wengi. Juzi mlikuwa hapa wakati tu ambapo tulikuwa tuna launch sako ya wana boda boda hapa. Baada ya sisi kumaliza, wale vijana walikuwa na zile reflectors, walikuwa wanajitambulisha nazo. Nasikia baadaye siku ya ifuatayo waliweta reke squad na askari kitengo cha polisi hapa na county commander, ambaye imesemekana vizuri yeye ako na instruction kuhakikisha kwamba Simba asongi mahali popote. Nauliza, sababu ya nyinyi hawa vijana. Mheshimiwa Ruto alipokuwa na kampeni alikuwa anasema vijana wa bodaboda ni wake, kina mama mboga. Kama tumeleta vijana pamoja, vijana 6,000 wa hapa, na watu wapee pesa wafanye biashara, ni nini ingine tutaweza fanya nzuri kuliko hiyo? Lile lipo, nataka mimi nijue ni nani, nia yake ni gani, ambaye ametoa askari wa JSU mahali walikuwa kule Kisumu kuwaleta mpaka hapa. Reke squad ambayo inatembea hapa, wanataka kuua nani? Ni kwa nini maafisa wengine wasifanye kazi? Wale wakora ambao wameua vijana hapa waliokamatwa, wale askari wote wamewakamata, wamepiwa transfer. Kwani ni nini kinaendelea hapa katika Kisii ambacho watu hawezi elezewa? Tunahitaji, kwa sababu polisi, nasikia komanda unataka kutoroka, lazima uwajibike. Wewe ndio umewaambia askari wakuje hapa, uwajibike, utuambie sababu gani. Hapa si uwanja wa kukuja askari kukaa. Na kama ningekuja niwapate wamekaa mahali pamoja wote, ingekuwa vizuri. Lakini wame take position kama wako vitani.
On to our next news item. The Kenyan judiciary has called upon individuals to collect their unclaimed assets in the form of cash and properties after the conclusion of their court cases. According to Caroline Kabucho, the Registrar of Magistrates and County Courts, case matters settled as of October 30th occurred to 41.4 million for matters concluded for a period of 1 year. In total, 4.1 billion for both ongoing and concluded cases for the year ending October 31st, 2023. Kabucha says the assets will be transferred to Kenya Asset Recovery Authority, ARA, should the owners not claim within the slated timings. The unclaimed assets include cash bail, which are deposits in security to have accused persons released, deposited in the form of properties in civil matters, awards in children cases, where parents are at times ordered to deposit cash with the courts for children maintenance, workman compensation in employment, and labor cases.
The 41 million that is pending, because what happens on the 1st of November, the institution has to remit the unclaimed assets to the unclaimed financial assets authority. So this 41 means that the matters have already been concluded, but the parties have not come to collect their deposits. With the 5 billion is what has been ongoing. The matters are pending, and also the concluded matters. So at every given year, then we do an audit on how much has been pending for the last 1 year. So the person who deposited is the person who is supposed to, or the person whose name is on the receipt is the one who's supposed to come and claim for the money. Then we forward them to the unclaimed financial assets authority. We do not retain it. That's what I'm saying. After 1 year, the money then, and that is on the every 1st of November, the money is claimed. But right now, we are saying Kenyans to go to every court station, where the court station where you deposited your money, and in case you find the money has been sent to UFA, then you can still claim from them. The process is the same, but at now at the unclaimed financial assets authority.
That is all we had, our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us at Science TV. With me, your host, Ruth Wairimu, and that is my sign name. My interpreter doing the voicing is Ruth Wairimu, and now we welcome Ben with the sports news. Have a good night, and we hope to meet again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Assistor is now available on the Safaricom M-Pesa app. To use Assistor, simply log in to my M-Pesa app, go to Services, select Assistor, follow the prompts, and your account is ready to use. To get an interpreter's services, simply click on the interpreter's icon and select an available interpreters from the list provided. Assistor, sign language interpretation at your fingertips.
Central Kenya, are you ready? Uhai Festival is coming to Chuka University Saturday the 4th of November 2023. Come celebrate live.